no? But talking about transitioning, no, I think the world is transitioning also, no? Parang the topic that I want to present here is how the universe or how the celestial realms like the sun, the moon, and the stars are affecting us. Have you heard about the medical astrology? Ako din, although I've read about that on the Chinese medicine na yung the 12 o'clock position of dahil kasi 'di ba merong orasan, the Chinese
Oh,
of
I understand what you're talking about now. I thought you were talking about more like cosmic stuff, but yeah, we use the organ clock. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that I do know some about.
Dahil kasi merong 12 celestial body, then 10 earthly stem, tama ba yun? May gano'n sa astrology. Although usually you can, pag, if they talk about that, the 12 heavenly bodies and 12 heavenly bodies and 10 earthly stem, parang, it's part of us. It's part of us. Though ginawa nila ng zodiac in the stars and those the rotation of the stars could affect us. And sometimes parang in normal people, isipin lang nila ay that is part of ano tawag doon, superstition ba ang iniisip nila? Pero on us as medical or yeah, paramedical, let's say, on traditional medicine, we know that we understand. We know, yeah, just know that these forces can affect us. Pero how will we let other know and make them understand that this factor affects us, no? Siguro one example is the situation of the weather right now in the US and the whole world, no? And I think the only explanation that I can see is the world is moving, nagmi-meet siya with the stars para mag-generate siya ng ganitong klaseng temperature because the stars are source of heat and light to the world. So if 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 the world is far from the sun, 'di ba? Kaya nagkakaroon ng mga solstices and equinox. Uh, and it involves the current yung parang waves at saka nag-involve din siya ng temperature para sa atin because of the radiation of the light in our world, no? So most likely, I think we as humans become self-centered, right? The concern is how to live, how to earn, how to become uh, successful in life, in many other things, no? Pero sometimes out of that goal for human beings, we forgot that we are strangers to one another. That's why, kasi if you are friends, why you should hit your friend, 'di ba? Or you attack your friend. We are strangers to one another. But aside from being strangers to one another, we also forgot that we are not from this world. What do I mean? We are not from this world. We are just a passerby or parang alien. We are the real alien of this world because this world is the earth, the land. And probably for us, the current situation of having snow, of having a storm or thunder, we don't like that. Too much extremes. No, extreme cold, extreme heat, 'di ba? Pero we never heard of the earth complaining about it. But we as human who dwells in this planet are the ones making complaint, 'di ba? Even though how much we work hard to have a comfortable living, to have a comfortable life, yes, yes, tama, no? Uh, but if we, since we are here on earth, we could not. make a real change to the world. No, parang we could not control the coming of the storms. We could not control the coming of the snow. That's why we have not we don't have any power over the forces of nature. That's why we learn. We get attuned to the forces of nature, no? Sabi ni JL is there are many native traditions that believe we are from the stars. My Lakota teacher and my Lenape teacher both tell me the story of about their people coming from the cosmos, no? Yes, no, I believe that also. That's why the temple that we have in Luntiangagama, although the registered name is Luntiangagama Natural Divine Art Shrine of Healing, it was a shrine, but internally we want to call ourselves as Tala, no? Tala, Templong Anituhan ng Luntiangagama, or members of, that's why there is Binabaylang Tala course also, no? Aside from the Hilot Binabaylan, no? Mostly the Tala is, at yun din yung dream ko na sana we could find some student that is good in fashion designing, yung sa clothing. Tama ba? Fashion designer ba ang dapat pinagdadasal ko? The one who could design clothes. Kasi I want to ask her or him or whatever, kung ano man ang gender ibigay ng mga diwata, na to design yung damit tala. The damit tala intends to bring back the natural clothing of our ancestors, because traditionally, for example, if you go to Saudi Arabia, whether in the mundane or doing work, going to the marketplace, they only wear the dress, their traditional clothing, which is the, anong tawag doon nga, the tube, yung parang damit ng pare, no? Whether at home, going to church or everything, yun. But for us here, our clothing right now is influenced by the West. It's not totally ours. Even though likhang Pinoy, gawang Pinoy, but the design was a colonized one, no? Though it's good dahil kasi we enjoyed these changes that happen to us, that is happening around us, but we almost forgot na we are just adapting to the trend that people enforcing us to have. Andun na yung commercialism, the capitalism, and everything, no? Pero we have forgot na to attune ourselves back to the nature. We forgot to give back to Mother Earth herself. That's why in times of certain calamity, we suffer. But since the world is different, such as here in the east, there in the west, or whatever direction, kasi if you are spirit, di mo na masabi na sometimes you can call that you are in the east, di ba? Yung sa America, and you can call us that we are on the far west of the US kung tatawirin mo ang Pacific Ocean. uh, the reason why there is east and west is, again, people put the international timeline to determine the direction, and the one that that say so is someone who is also human, 'di ba? They modified our place, pero for us, we are a spiritual being bound in this physical body. We try to help the body of other people na to adjust on the climate, on the temperature, kasi ito yung ano eh, probably the having a storm can be a natural activity of the earth, of our planet, but for us it is not. When I talk about I talk to one of our student in Hilot, or graduate of Hilot Binabaylan, who is a Spanish, an old Spanish. I don't know, sabi nila na meron din daw health or good benefit yung cold, extreme cold or dipping on a snow. Meron nga ba? Parang what are the belief if of certain cold? Yung parang quick bath, cold bath or parang maglaro sa snow, play around the snow.
I know it's
Meron
a
nga ba?
medical technique. Yeah. I don't use that because it's not like something that I'm trained in. And I'm like, how I was trained, like cold is like the thing to be avoided in Chinese medicine because it
Mhm.
disrupts our homeostasis. But I know that in like Northern Europe, there's like ice bath, like you plunge in and then you come out, and it's supposed to like increase your tolerance to extreme weather,
Mhm.
and it also like changes the way that your body's circulation is.
Mhm.
So to me, it makes sense in that context because they have like extreme cold, and so it's a way to adapt the body to that. But I don't live in that climate, so
Even me, no? Parang
I don't live in that climate, and I don't live in that particular cultural context where that's probably true.
mhm.
But yeah,
Kasi on my part, I was surprised na talaga, but what he said parang during the cold season, uh, he talks about metabolism, no? Parang the fat person, yung malalaki, will not get cold because they have the protective system. Tapos they will feel lighter during the cold month. Pero yung mga payat daw, they tend to be the one who suffer. Kaya parang even on the sense of aesthetic, yung beauty, 'di ba? Parang per country or per different part of the world, it affects yung itsura natin. Parang kung ang temperature mo is kung ang temperature sa lugar, if the temperature in their place is very cold, parang it's good for them na maging big, maging malalaki. Although some part of the American people na yun as I observe because I am a member of the Corellian tradition and I mostly see na everyone is suffering from I don't know if they are obese. For me, I see them obese na, no? Pero parang it seems na normal lang. So, inisip ko, I was not able kasi 'di ba it's so rude naman, why you are so ganyan, mag-diet ka. Eh, baka nga cultural, no? Baka cultural. So I just maintain my casual relationship na gano'n. Though I am concerned, but I don't know if that is true for them na the reason why we are preparing for the cold days. We're storing this fat so it's okay, konti lang. Pero most of the celebrities of the American, mga borta. Oh, what I mean borta, muscle, 'di ba? Well chiseled body. So sila ba mas sensitive sila or they have enough money to warm themselves during the cold days? Ano yung observation niya, yung parang on the people like in your place? They are big or slim din na katulad ng mga Pilipino. Although sa atin pag Pilipino mataba, they are mataba talaga. Risky. They have health issues. What do you observe?
um, I think weight is not a great indicator of someone's health
Mhm.
because we can't really make assumptions about what someone's fitness level is like. There's a lot of fat people who work out all the time and they're super
Mm,
strong and they're very healthy, but there's like a lot of assumptions that get made when you see someone who's bigger and also
mhm.
when you see someone who's smaller. Like, for example, um, when I was doing acupuncture with folks, like common complaints, knee pain, back pain, like lots of people have pain, and like a lot of the people I treated for knee pain and back pain were thin.
Mhm.
But there was also some folks that I treated for knee pain and back pain that were heavier. And always the people who were heavier were told by their doctors, oh, you need to lose weight. But it's like, it's not true because there's a lot of skinny people with joint pain and it's not related to their weight. So I think that it's a complex thing and there's a lot of assumptions that get made. I tend to practice from I'm going to put it in the chat, but I tend to practice from a health at every size
Mm-hmm.
framework, um, because I think that people can be healthy at every size. And I think that there's also like a lot of discrimination that gets passed on for people, to people who are being fat, who are fat.
True.
So like people assume that fat people are lazy, that they're sick, that they don't care about their health, and it's just not true.
And even, 'di ba, parang yung culture of defining beauty have changed dahil sa fat and sa slim or sexy. For them, even the goddess Venus of Winterope, yung ganon, 'di ba, the Venus is the goddess of beauty. Pero yung mga image or yung mga idols na nakita, that been found is malalaki. They are big. So ibig sabihin during time or throughout time, the definition of beauty and good health or how we live have changed. 'Di ba? Tama ka sa Jamie is right when he said that ano yung term mo yun? Assuming ba yun? Oo, yung people assumes that being fat is may sakit, blah blah blah, not healthy, etc. etc. But some other people, I am surprised na they are more flexible pa. They can dance very good compared to me. Di ako marunong sumayaw. They can sing and everything. They are healthy. Although the illness that they have is probably not on the real health, physical health. The illness that they got is the discrimination of the people. The torture that they have is from their mind and their heart. And probably yun lang nga, 'di ba? Again, it's another a form of attack from other people, no? And that's why parang I don't know. I'm dealing with my sister also na parang tumataba siya or getting fat. That's why he would skip meal. She would skip meal. Sabi ko, why? You're beautiful naman and your body is okay. You're not overweight. No, dahil kasi ganito, ganito, ganito. Okay. I don't know. It's ano parang kasi it's trending kasi my friends are doing this kind of diet, kind of blah blah blah, chenes chenes chenes. Kaya parang yung normal of taking food, iniisip niya na it's okay. Sabi ko, di, ah, ah, hindi ka ba magtiwala sa akin? I am a hilot, I'm a health advocate, and I know how to help you do that if you want to figure para to maintain a proper figure. Kuya, hindi, ganito na lang, okay lang. Okay. So, parang back off na lang ako, pero masarap kumain. You know how to love eating food. But anyway, so yun nga, no? Time changes and even this time is affected by can be influenced by the light, can be influenced by the stars, the moon, and the sun. It can it can be connected, no? It can be connected to that. And like what I've said a while ago, na parang our existence here in our planet, na those influence of the universe of the stars might be a help for the our planet, pero the question is how we could accept that changes of that influence. Kasi sometimes we are stubborn, we don't listen to the earth, no, to the nature. Parang we only know if there are dark clouds, it will rain. Like what I've said, 'di ba? There will be rain. So if you hang your laundry outside, mga sampay-sampay, I don't know how you ano, so you pick out and you bring inside those laundries and everything para hindi siya maulanan. Or sometimes, isa pang confusing na they know that it's raining, you should have an umbrella, but they keep running using their hands to cover up on their head as if na their hand will gonna protect it from the pouring rain, no? uh, there are many people parang isipin nating baliw or not na it might give them more trouble or health risks or hazard na maaksidente sila na na magkaroon ng sakit sa kanilang buhay, no? They will have illnesses more or injury that needs to take care of. Um I think siguro as a hilot binabaylan, no, it's nice that we recognize that, no, it's a good point of Jamie that the size of the person, the height of the person is not the basis of having an illness. Totoo yan, no? Because for us, what we are uh, focusing on, and supposedly the medical personnel should not judge us based on our appearance. Kasi oy, oversized ka na, overweight ka na. They base it on their sight. Pero have they touched that person? Have they checked their pulse, their respiration and everything, 'di ba? Remember, if we are going to talk about the health of the person, we apply the holistic approach of seeing, listening, and feeling them. Now we need to touch, such as on defending yourself, you really need to protect the body from being touched by other person. But if the person allows to be touched, then you can work with that person to create changes. Pero kung may attack without permission, then do it yourself na atakihin mo rin siya to protect yourself or ang tawag doon, offense and defense, right? Sa martial art, offensive and defensive movement, no? And on our part, siguro, we have to also to be reminded na during the seasons, no, the heat and the cold can affect us. Kasi natural yan sa atin, no? Parang pag sinasabi, merong ano treatment we balance the heat and the cold treatment. In Hilot, meron tayong mga heat treatment. And what do you think na kailangan ng heat or treatment that use employing heat? Okay. Why do we use ice pack when we get bumps? 'Di ba? Parang if nauntog tayo, we had an injury, 'di ba? We put ice. Tama
I
ba?
don't use ice.
Why? Anong
I don't use ice because it actually because I have other tools. So I'll use herbs or I'll use acupuncture. Ice can actually slow down the healing process because it stops everything, right? Like it stops the inflammation,
Mhm.
which is a normal response to injury. And so if you stop it too much, then it doesn't complete the response, and then you don't heal as fast.
Mhm.
Um, so and it can create further injuries later on,
Mhm. Yoon.
especially because you can't like when people use ice, like they think it's helping because you don't feel the pain anymore. But what happens is it's numb. So you can easily re-injure yourself again because you can't feel where your
Mhm.
body's at.
Mhm.
So there's like very few situations in which I would use ice and I would use other things first.
Mhm. Yoon. Ikaw Jamie, Jamie, JL, do you have any ideas using ice, no?
I'm learning a lot about
Okay.
these things because a lot of the work that I have done has not been directly related to treating the body in these types of ways. So it's nice to learn these things, you know, and to also hear Jamie speaking about some things that kind of dispel like the normative like way that people have
Mhm,
taught us. Like, you know, that sounds like something that my mom would say, like, oh, go get some ice, like put ice on it. But I do, like, I have an aversion to cold also in general with my body.
mhm.
It's like something naturally that like, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, it's because I'm an island girl, so that's the reason why. Like, you know, like the cold. I don't want any of my body to be cold. I walk around with a blanket all the time, or these types of things. But yeah, like and then like in terms of, I guess, like heat wise, um the only thing that the first thing that I thought about is actually like um just like being able to train when we would train like outside in the heat. Like it actually felt good to do it sometimes, like when it was really humid and hot outside. Like it feels better for me to be training in that type of weather than when it's like windy or chilly or something outside. So I know that, you know, it has to do with like our muscles being able to be warmed up. But something in particular about sweating feels
Mhm.
really for my body. And I don't know if either of you have things to share about that. I love learning about these things about how the body responds. So, um, but yeah, like I can only really speak about what I understand of my own body. And then a lot of the knowledge that I have had around just the body itself has to do with like spiritual indications to them. But this is really good learning. So I'm just listening.
Okay, okay. Actually, kasi thank you JL, 'di ba parang actually Jamie is right, no? Pero what happened sometimes when you apply cold pack, tama ka sinabi mo, it can cause certain injuries pa. Although during the bump there was bleeding, internal bleeding, so you tend to freeze the blood with that. Pero freezing it won't help. It will it will only it will only uh tawag doon, numb the person so that it will not feel the pain. But the injury is still there. Kaya nagkakaroon ng parang ganon, bumps, no? Pero is that good? 'Di ba? Parang hindi. For me, it's not eh. Dahil kasi parang internal hemorrhage or internal or clotting of the blood, 'di ba? And for us as manghihilot, we tend to remove the lamig, the cold by rubbing it out, no? So, yung teaching, you should apply the hot and the cold and the hot, no? Parang when for me, if I have this back pain or lower back pain, I love to dip on a hot tub. Walang hot tub dito, but I used yung sa Saudi ako, merong jacuzzi, I dip on jacuzzi. Pero kung wala, we use the fire suob or the boiling water, the steam suob part to have this back pain. I think on your part, Jamie, you are still JL pala. I'm looking at JL. You are parang chronic na yata ang pagka-back pain mo dahil I feel your baby is so malikot already. So you can have this back pain already, no? Pero you can have this hot towel at your back and on your leg part para yung pain can relieve. Kasi the reason why na and at the same time the when it is cold, yes, heating pad every night, no? And the reason why, when it is cold, the fluid inside your body is getting cold as well. So the baby is not comfortable with that. Do you agree with that, Jamie? 'Di ba? Kaya sometimes we touch we parang rinarab natin yung kayo pala as a female, you rub it para magkaroon ng certain movement to warm up your baby. I think Jamie will answer. Tama ba pag ang ano, when during the cold, the fluid inside us is getting cold and the baby reacts to it?
Um, I I think it depends. I mean, I for me, pain can be caused by a lot of different things. So sometimes it's caused by cold, sometimes it's caused by like deficiency, like someone's diet or their
Mm.
constitution is very weak. Sometimes it's from overwork.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like pain can also be caused by too much heat. So or not moving enough. So it
Mhm.
depends. I mean, with pregnant folks, like your whole body is getting pulled into a different alignment. Like
Mhm.
you're like heavy in the front and not as heavy in the back, and then your joints get the relaxin hormone, so all of your joints become looser to allow for the expansion of your body. So it's you become like a little bit too flexible.
Yeah, so
So
everything
yeah,
will.
there's a lot of weird like aches and pains that happen in the folks that I've worked with who are pregnant.
Mm, 'di ba? But for
But
me,
heat is good. Yeah.
yeah, for me, when that happen, when you feel some pain, you try to, dahil kasi para yung touching your belly, it's also a mean of communication with your baby, no? With your baby. So when the baby moves and been calmed down, you transfer your heat to the baby, maramdaman niya yung comfort, no? Maramdaman niya yung comfort. Although cold weather really parang freeze us up. That's why when a water is frozen, it's not moving, 'di ba? It's not moving. So when our blood is not moving, but we need to try to move, it breaks, it causes pain. Kaya sinasabi lagi, there is lamig part in our body, no? In order for us to, we rub it off through massage, through hilot. But in the northern province, 'di ba, sa lugar ni Mamerto, sa Banawe, Ifugao, and on the highest part, they have technique not only on just rubbing using ablon, but they eat danganga. They use that danganga, the betel nut. It's a natural form of aphrodisiac, but also it can make your body warm by chewing danganga kasi it's hot eh. It will raise your temperature naturally, and they will eat the papaitan, no, or the sinanglaw, something, a bitter soup that will activate the ano tawag doon, the bile, no? When the bile is working, it can activate heat. Tama ba? That's how I understand it, na it could activate the blood to flow. So kung ano man mga toxic waste, ang mga excess water, it will be drained out to urination, no? Para mag-heated yung katawan natin to heat up. And I think the bitter taste, like the ampalaya, 'di ba? It affects our blood pressure, no? To lower the kung if you are high blood, it can lower the blood pressure and the mineral contents of your body. So here, food can be integrated, or the herbal medicine can also be integrated na to affect the body heat. Kasi yung body heat natin, the body temperature the body heat natin can determine if we are alive or dead. Kasi cold, if we are covered with coldness, they said that you don't have life anymore. You are already dead, no? So that's the reason why we are maintaining this cycle of heat and cold. Though di ko rin alam, that's the reason why I ask you if what is the importance of cold in your culture kasi nasa west and merong snow dyan. Yeah, like Jamie have confirmed, dahil kasi Spanish yung student at sinabi nila na merong therapeutic benefit yung ice. Pero I don't know. Di ko pa nasusubukan. Probably it's the culture of hilot yung ano natin. Pero probably let's try to experiment also. No, let's find an answer. Baka merong benefit na makukuha doon. Like for us, like I said, as a hilot, we adapt to our environment. If our environment has winter, let's find something good in winter aside from Christmas carol and everything, from the white Christmas and everything. No? Let's find some other good things. Kasi you've been put there in the West, no? Not trying to adapt with the culture that they have, but trying to blend with them so that you could help them as hilot binabaylan. Kasi if we push ourselves na okay, this is the culture that we have, I want you to become a Filipino, everyone, na magkaroon ng regression yan, magkaroon ng oppression and everything. No, we are not creating peace. But then if you touch other Filipino to embrace our race, siguro yon mag-shine out tayo sa society na this is our lineage, this is our tradition. We're not forcing it out, no, to other people. That's why we can accept and welcome other people to to experience our culture, the sacred healing arts of our ancestors, and let them be healed, let them be touched, no. And it doesn't mean na, kunyari, dito sa Pilipinas, the Hilot culture has no snow. Walang healing ng using ice. But probably meron. I'm not sure lang. Although that nga na yung pagka using the ice directly could really numb the person. Pero traditionally, aside from that, we use gomamela or katakataka. It is still cold, because it's watery. Parang katulad yan, yung halaman mo na sa likod, Jamie, yung lion, lion's tail ba ang tawag dyan? Jamie, JL pala. Yung halaman mo, buntot tigre, it gives oxygen, no? When you cut the leaves and pound it, tapos lagay mo dito, or sa face mo, alam mo, pag nauntog ka, it helps to relax the nerve, and then at the same times, it will give the nutrients also to the skin, no? So yun yung parang nagiging secret ng natin, kumbaga yung the way of medicine of our ancestors. Again, siguro last word ko, I'm gonna ask you again, siguro ano yung mga gusto nyong points na sabihin. Pero we need to adapt ourselves to the environment as well, to the cycle of the moon, the sun, and the stars. It really affects us. It really affects us. I don't know, you probably know how it affects astrologically to affect your future, but it can also affect our health. Kaya siguro, try to open up yourself to conduct research on that, the medical astrology.